Hey guys, Josh here, and about a year ago I started a series on this channel called Dead by Daylight Lore. At that point I'd already done all the killers and survivors etc, but now there are quite a few more. With that being said, let's get straight into the revival of this series with the pig killer, which is part of the Saw chapter.
At first, I actually believed that it was a pig that slept in front of me on the ground. An animal that somehow had eluded the banalities of my old life and managed to end up at this forsaken and forgotten place. But then it rose, from crouch to standing, with its lifeless eyes nailed to my person. I ran, as I have so brutally learned to do. My curiosity halted my escape after a few feet, and I hid in a cabinet. The pig moved like a predator, and I saw a human body wearing a pig's head as an ornament. It walked by the cabinet, and its snout was just a few inches away from me. I held my breath, aching for freedom. A sudden sound caught the pig's attention, and it walked away, but not without giving me a last, final glance, as if it wanted to inform me that I was given a second chance. I will not get a third.
When John Kramer, better known as Jigsaw, planned for his son to be born during the Chinese Zodiac's Year of the Pig, he wanted it to represent fertility and rebirth, a new beginning for him and his wife, and the start of a charmed life for his son. But that plan was shattered on the night that a junkie broke into his wife's clinic, hoping to score. After this event resulted in the death of his unborn son, John finally caught up with the junkie, making him his first test subject, and the pig was changed forever too. It became a representation of the disease that was rotting John from the inside, a reminder that we are just meat unless we elevate ourselves by our actions by grasping life from the jaws of death. The pig became a vessel, an agent of Jigsaw, conveying the subjects to their tests. For some of those who emerged victorious, the pig could still be a rebirth into their new lives as apprentices, even disciples of Jigsaw. That was the case for Amanda Young, a troubled soul whose life had been a catalogue of harm both to herself and those around her. That changed when she faced and bested Jigsaw's test. Deciding her life was worth something, she became devoted to Jigsaw's cause, ready to take over when cancer consumed him. But she became more dependent on John. Her anguish at his impending death combined with a relief that their test subjects weren't capable of saving themselves or being reborn in the crucible of the games. Seeing this, John presented her with another game. Another chance to save herself, but Amanda let her rage and jealousy rule her actions. She failed the test and took a bullet as a consequence. Bleeding out on the tiled floor, darkness engulfed Amanda's vision, accompanied by a sound like creaking wood. Then she was in a forest, once more viewing the world through the eyes of a pig. Trees surrounded her, their branches clawing at her from all sides. Waves of panic washed over her and she could hear her breath reverberating inside the mask. Had she been damned, Cursor spent her days here in this guise. Or maybe this was another test. Maybe she hadn't failed at all. John was always one step ahead of everyone else, planning for every eventuality, and he would never give up on her, surely. Jigsaw may have gone, but he had passed her on to another, a being for whom she would be the pig again. Ultimately, she saw now that she had been right in the choices she had made. The time for games was over. There was no chance of redemption for any of them. They were meat, and meat was destined to die.
You will give everything to me. Every cell in your body, the marks on your arms, they're from another life. We'll leave that life behind. When you walk down that corridor, there is no turning back. Do you understand that?
Forever devoted to her master's cause, she punished the ungrateful and the guilty with slyness and murderous puzzles. The pig can move stealthily, dash in ambush attacks, and put deadly reverse bear traps on survivors' heads. The pig can use a secondary power interaction to assume a crouching position. When crouched, the pig has no terror radius and can dash and perform an ambush attack. When playing as the pig, you start with 4 reverse bear traps. The pig places these reverse bear traps on survivors in a dying state. The traps will not activate until the generator is completed. At this point, the timer will begin on all traps. The traps will also auto-activate if the survivor crawls beyond the exit gates. But that's the end of this Dead by Daylight lore video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the upcoming lore videos, like the next one that's going to be on Michael Myers. Also check out the others in the description, and I'll see you all in the next video.